Thank you for your rather warm introduction. I'm a little overwhelmed at the rather distinguished list of persons who come and spoken to you on this very important occasion and delivered to you the Indira Gandhi Memorial Lecture. I'm afraid my only claim to be able to stand there is because I happen to work with the great person for a short period of time and had therefore the opportunity to observe much of what she attempted to do. These were, of course, her last years. I was with her from 82 to 84. But during that time, much of her thinking had crystallized, become very clear. And although her life ended in a major tragedy, the legacy which she left behind has been lasting. And there are those who still look back at her time as a kind of golden age, in many respects, in terms of stability and development and growth. But I, as you rightly said, would like to highlight one particular issue, and that is her commitment to the environment. And I don't only mean the natural environment, the environment in general, the cultural, the natural, and the international environment in which she found herself. And that is what Dr. Kapila Vasyal and I have really in common, because during that time, and when after she passed away, at the time when the Indira Gandhi National Center for the Arts was being set up, we did happen to come together and work together and try to understand the great legacy that she left in that area. Now, we are meeting today in the shadow of a major tragedy that has beset our country. A tragedy that has thrown many challenges. I was asked to appear on Al Jazeera, the TV program, to talk about this. And I said there that if these terrorists had hoped to destroy India, they will obviously fail. Anyone can tell them that it was a useless exercise. They will not destroy India. They will not destroy our economy. Our unity is likely to grow even stronger. Our diversity is going to grow even richer. That kind of an assault brings us all together. It is not an assault that is going to in any way impair our progress or interrupt our great leap into the future, which we are taking on the basis of certain strong foundations, of which Mrs. Indira Gandhi, of course, was a major contributor. Coming to the area of our environment, whereas I'm talking about this dramatic progress that we can look forward to, that we are already in the process of, and that no danger of this nature, this criminal nature, is ever going to divert us from, it is important to remember that she highlighted a particular area where she saw a major threat to our future. If you've seen her book, in 1984 there was a book published, Safeguarding the Environment, published by the New Age publishers, written by her. Now I know many of you will say that she was the Prime Minister, so somebody must have written it for her, but if you read that book, you will find that there's much in it. I could see, because I used to draft a number of her speeches, also all her messages at that time were usually drafted by me. But her language, and none of those speeches or messages went past her without her actually scrutinizing every word and changing things all over the place and then coming back with her own revised version. So you can read her language in this book. And this is how she starts the book. I've had the good fortune of growing up with a sense of kinship with nature in all its manifestations. Birds, plants, stones were companions, and sleeping under a star-strewn sky, I became familiar with the names and movements of constellations. But my deep interest in this our only earth was not in itself, but as a home fit for man. Now this, I think, was the gist of her approach to the environment. The commonality between the evolution of humankind as a whole specifically in relation to the cultural heritage which grew out of that environment and which so greatly enriched us. She talks in this book of the time of the Emperor Ashoka, 22 centuries earlier. At that time it was 22 centuries, now 23, where she spoke of an emperor as powerful as that, but in his policies, imprinted now forever on his edicts, rock edicts, shows that he considered himself the protector not only of human beings, but of all life. Not only of life which we might think of, animal life, but even in case of trees, flowers, forests. All these, in fact, she regarded as part of the Indian heritage, part of India. Not only one area or one part, but this is what made India whole, in her view. And therefore, if India was really to progress, really to become a great nation, then it must grow in all these aspects. In this, her remarks were prescient. In poverty, that means he means mankind, is threatened by malnutrition and disease, in weakness by war, and in richness by the pollution brought about by his own prosperity. These are all challenges, and we have transited from one through another to the third. Therefore, it is